what are your opinions on Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick, went to the Chicago Bears? What are your thoughts on him, bro?
I might be in the 1% that thinks he's overhyped. Show me
Yeah.
how he's different. Show me how he's different than Justin Fields, other than they're building a team around Caleb Williams. I mean, if Bears would have done what they're doing for this fool, I mean, they'd be just in about the same spot. I don't think Justin Fields got enough respect being in that franchise. Caleb Williams to me, he's gonna be. I won't say he's gonna be a bust, but he's not gonna be as good as they make him out to be. I don't know.
He's definitely new blood, and I don't just mean like a new player. You know, he's a new guy. He's young Gen Z. You know, a lot of people were talking trash about him, like painting his fingernails, like having a pink phone case and stuff. And you know, I just even like listening to his draft day stuff, he seemed like a little like I don't know how else to say it other than to say zesty. You know what I mean? Like he was just like hyped and you know celebrating kind of like how you would like in middle school still like you know what I mean like but that's just like the new generation like you know they do that kind of stuff like I see a lot of NBA players doing it that kind of stuff so it's gonna be a whole new thing you know there's a lot of older players on the Bears so you know I kind of wonder if they'll respect him in the locker room and like that kind of stuff.
Oh, how about his on-field stuff? What do you think of him as a player? Forget the person, the zesty personality or whatever you just said. How do you think he's gonna ball out? Like I said, I don't see him being top 15 or top 10 quarterback this season. He's over here calling his punter, telling him already, you know, you're not really gonna need to be on the field this year and whatnot. I mean, he has the confidence, but I just don't think he has enough to be that cocky. He'll never be a Patrick Mahomes, you know?
Yeah, you know it's you know you want your quarterback to be that confident, but at the same time, you know it's like in boxing they say everyone has a plan until they get hit in the face, right? So you know I
Exactly.
think that we'll see how we'll see how he does. I think the first time a linebacker breaks through the offensive line, it's going to be a wake up call for him, and we'll see what they do. I think that you know he has a lot of talent. You know, watching his highlights, he seems kind of just a natural. You know, he checks his he checks his options. He doesn't look at them or anything like that to give his passes away. So you know, I think that he's gonna be a decent QB. I just like you said, I don't think he's gonna be all that yet. Like it's gonna take some time. And with the Bears, like, do they have the patience to put in that time? You know, they've been the laughing stock of the league for a while, and it's a proud franchise. The Bears, even driving around town here in San Antonio, I see like Bears fans with the flags out in the yard and stuff. So there's a lot of proud people, and I just don't know if they're gonna have patience. And then especially with all the other stuff I was talking about, they're gonna maybe hold it against him and say, you're not the right person for us or something.
Well, look what happened with Justin Fields, right? They drafted him. He was their Lord and Savior also for what, a couple of seasons, and they gave up on him. But it was never his fault. He didn't have the weapons to show out.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden, they draft Caleb Williams number 1, and they decide, oh, we're gonna get him a wide receiver. We're gonna get him. We're gonna get him, better O line. We're gonna get him actual tight ends that know how to catch. You know what I mean? It's like, where was his treatment when they had Justin Fields? I mean, I don't see him much of a difference. Justin Fields went
yeah,
up high too. You know what I mean? So I mean, we'll see. He's gonna have to make a believer out of me because I don't believe in the Caleb Williams hype.
yeah. So I'm just looking at some things that people have said about him. Dane Bogler, his draft analysis says Williams needs to be more on schedule from the pocket. but you live with the hiccups because of the positives are special with his dynamic passing skills and instinctive ability to create. Though stylistically, he's a really impressive karaoke style version of Patrick Mahomes. He is truly unique as a playmaker. So, they see him as someone who is like the great value person, the great value version of Patrick Mahomes. And I know that draft day talk is cheap, but you know, I like the kid. I think that he's not making things easier on himself with all the trash talking and all that stuff. But you know, winners are like that. Wimby's like that, and we saw what he was able to do, and hopefully the Chicago Bears do a better job at putting a team around Caleb Williams than the Spurs were about putting a team around Wimby. But it's going to take probably a season or two to figure it out, and I'm hoping that they'll go from there. They also got a wide receiver, Rome News. I don't know how to say his name, but
Yeah, I
do
didn't
you
really
think?
catch the last name. Partnering him up with Cable Williams is going to be pretty good. He's how can I describe him as he kind of reminds me of something of maybe like a Debo Samuels, just not
Yeah,
just not as aggressive or not as yeah, probably just not as aggressive, I would say. He's going to be a great weapon for him, but like you said,
yeah,
will that partnership work out? And just because you have a good wide receiver on your squad doesn't mean the quarterback and him are going to see eye and eye all the time. Hell, we had Amari Cooper on our squad for a bit, and Dak never went out of his way to find him. You know what I mean? So it's just wasted talent. I mean, I'm hoping for the best for these guys, but like I said, I'm gonna have to watch a few games before they make a believer out of me.
yeah, for sure. So, I think that they picked him up at number 9, and I do apologize for saying the name wrong. Rome Odd News, I think, and he is another first round pick, and he played in Washington. He was a great player there, and according to Dane Bulger, he says he's an above average weight, height, speed athlete with pass catching instincts and competitive focus to be a playmaking NFL receiver. He projects as a true X receiver and has the skill level to elevate his quarterback's play, stylistically similar to Drake London. So, if it can work out for them, I think it'll be pretty damn good. I think, a quarterback's relationship with his receivers is everything. So if they can make that work, I think that they'll be in pretty good shape. Um, they also picked up an offensive tackle from Yale, Kyrian. I'm not even going to try the last name on that one. Sorry. And then they got a punter
Edge
from
rusher. I think you're forgetting about Montez Sweat, bro.
Montez. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah. Yeah, so the Bears are going to be in some pretty decent shape. They still have to build up their team. They have to get the chemistry right, especially with a new quarterback at the helm. But if they are willing to, if he performs well, and they're willing to, you know, work with the kid, I think that the Bears can turn things around. I don't know if it'll necessarily be this season, but next season you'll probably see some improvement, and then maybe by the third season, I think that if everything is going well, they could be, a not a contending team, but a team that's flirting with wild card, maybe even just making the playoffs. But we'll see how all that goes. What do you think? Do you think that they have the potential to get there, or do you think that he's gonna fall flat?
Like I said, I don't see much of a difference from his game and Justin Fields' game. I mean, they had him on the squad for a good while too. They promised to build around him. That never happened. They're making the moves for Caleb Williams, so maybe, just maybe that'll be the difference maker. He has the potential to lead them to the playoffs. Now, to say that he can lead them to the Super Bowl, that's a big stretch.